I stopped using the Claude web interface and instead started building a Markdown repo in Obsidian. Here's my graph view. Let's dive into it. Do you guys have 199 Claude chats like I do? Because boy, are you in for a treat today. I was having a heck of a time finding things in all these chats. You can do searches, but it's you're like, oh man, I was talking to it about YouTube the other day. Only one thing came up, but like I know it's mentioned in here. I know it's mentioned like all over the place, but only the one chat just came up. Like their search isn't the best for sure. Uh, yeah. So anyway, I started rethinking how I was working with chat, and instead of chat, we moved to Claude Code. And the idea here is I created an Obsidian vault, and inside that vault, I have various scripts and folders. I call it my brain, my second brain. And then inside of that, I have individual kind of like subsections of the brain, like arcane layer. I run a 3D print farm on TikTok. Health, it's where I'm tracking things like I want to lose a little bit of weight, gain a little bit of muscle. So looking at making recipes and cooking at home right now. Um, Career plan. I don't business. I think business is like a cross-cutting concern where I can talk about all kinds of different things like my wife's business. So anyway, I don't want to bore you too much with everything in here, but just fired up Claude and I can tell it, find me the recent weekly recipe list. The first place I started was more around the health, but it quickly built into other areas too. So, um, and I use it for doing all kinds of project tracking and all kinds of things. So here we can see this is, oh, this is the upcoming week. I literally just made this before. Show me week '06 instead. Yeah, so anyway, the idea here is, I have some skills. I have a meal planner skill. I have a grocery list skill. So the meal planner will build this list. So I made the barbecue pulled pork mac. I made the Philly cheesesteak tonight. This is my second time recording this. I already put some tasting notes in there for the Philly cheesesteak casserole. We're gonna do like a sauce drizzle on it next time. It's making up a lot of these recipes. I fed it my family preferences, and then I'll just tell it like, "Hey, I want some new recipes," and it'll give me a list, and I'll be like, "Ooh, that looks good." Like it just suggested a butter chicken, and so you can see that got tossed into next week's. Amazing. And then once I pick the meals, I can come in here and say grocery list. And this is just a quick skill that I built out. And it just tells it like, hey, sort it in certain ways, and it'll run everything here for me and load it up, and then give me a list of all the things. It'll come back and actually ask me some questions like, oh, what kind of things do you have and what don't you have maybe on hand? And I'll just give it a quick answer, and then it'll be off to the races and give me a grocery list that I can use right now to build, through my mobile app with Kroger. But at some point, I could probably just tell it to like use Playwright. I've had it use Playwright to like go do research on Amazon for prices of filament. I had it go do research on various filament manufacturers to see what those costs are. It's kind of fun. Oh, here we go. Week 7. Pantry staples only. Yeah, I got all that. I do have milk, eggs, and Parmesan too. We'll tell it that. Bloviating. What the heck? Some of the words it puts in there. Well, I guess while we're waiting, I can also show you. Let's flip over to Obsidian real quick. And so the nice part here is, again, all of this is just simple Markdown files, right? And so Claude is able to come in here, open them, read them. I have a calendar in here, uh, journals with templates. We can look at the template. So I can tell it like, hey, today is Monday, February 9th. I woke up. Here was my energy level. Here was my sleep from the sleep tracking app. Here's how my plantar fasciitis felt this morning. And then later I'll come back, if I do a workout, I can take a picture and just drop it in the chat and be like, here was my workout today. It's got various workouts tracked in here for me. Here's the preferences. Like, I never want bland food. No, no fitness food. That's the worst. Don't suggest DoorDash to me. I hate salmon. Family hates bell peppers. So as it's building the list, it'll be like, okay, here you go. And look, here's the list. Let me go back over. Here's the list that I just built that I can start building in my cart. Uh, that seems, maybe that's right. Ground beef, 5 pounds. Good Lord. Oh, this probably pulled the wrong thing. I need to see what that was. Cottage cheese. So this is where it gets fun. I have protein hacks. Anywhere that you would use sour cream, we replace it with Greek yogurt. Anywhere you would use like ricotta or some kind of cheese sauce, use cottage cheese and we blend it instead. So we use the Berea protein pasta, so it'll suggest that. But look at this, it just like sorted it all for me, and then I can just like quickly toss this in. At some point, I should try out and just be like log in on Playwright with my Kroger account and just have it build the cart for me to review. I bet we can get there. We can get there. All right. And there we go. We built it. I wanted to show you one other thing that I used it for. So this was very, very fun little hacking session that I did. Because I work with 3D print files all the time, one thing that would be super helpful is if I could programmatically mess with 3MF files. But I didn't know what a 3MF file was. So I just asked it, and it went out and did some research on the web, came back, and it's like, oh, it's just a zip file. I was like, oh, crack it open. Let's dig into that sucker. And so turns out it's just XML, JSON, and there are some small image files in there. I think they're used for the print screen on the touchscreens. And then it's got STL files in there. So 3MF, if you're not familiar, it just lets you like paint a model up and print in multicolor. And so with arcanelayer.com, like we do a lot of fidgets, like articulated fidgets and whatnot. But it turns out like I had it start digging in and I'm like, hey, let's try changing this. Let's tweak this setting. And like it wouldn't work. And so then I'd be like, okay, how about this? You look at the file now. I'm gonna make the changes, save it, and you see what changed. And so we just kind of like none of this was well documented, but we just kind of like fleshed out what it would look like to be able to programmatically control these files. I'm not even done. I've got a few more ideas. But then I started realizing like, hey, what would it look like if we could, you know, just have a little web page that would show you a bunch of files and you'd be like, oh, I need to print this one. And it would tell you like, oh, go put these two filaments on that printer over there and then come back here and hit start. And I'd be like, that'd be really, really handy. That'd save us a lot of time. Cut down on a lot of our man hours that we're spending, and we can put them somewhere else. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm using this to think about. And like as we're doing the research, I'm just like, hey, put all this into a document, put it all in there, and it's shoving it in, and we learned a ton. And so now I have all of this learning, and if I ever want to come back and actually build this thing, like, shouldn't be too hard to build. So anyway, I guess I will end here. If you like this, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you found the most helpful. One of the things I will show you is I started this on January 4th or 5th, but look at my graph view. Look at how much stuff is in there and how much stuff is connected. What is this dude sitting out here? A license file. Oh boy. A pop house. Okay. There's a few files that aren't connected that we probably need to connect up in here, but It's really just grown like crazy, and it's been super helpful to me. And so I'm able to just drop in here and do stuff on a whim, and it gets saved. And then I've got some other tooling like QMD that'll help it do searches and get context quickly. So I'm always trying to find ways to improve this thing, but I'm already finding it super useful. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you do have any more questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.